Welcome back to my channel and to living, loving, and creating joy in your RV home. Today we're diving into a topic that resonates with every RV and tiny home dweller, and that's decluttering your RV. Whether you're a full-time traveler, a weekend warrior, or living stationary in a tiny home, managing a small space is a universal challenge. You are not alone in your struggles with decluttering. Everyone experiences some sort of difficulty when living tiny. And remember, we all have different comfort levels with what others might see as clutter. So let's take a look at how to implement some research-based ideas and examples of practical solutions, and stay to the end for a bonus minute that will support your seasonal decluttering challenges. The law of clutter. So first, let's acknowledge a universal truth. If a space is empty, it will inevitably get filled up. This natural law applies to our RVs just as much as it does to our sticks and bricks homes. Think about this. You clean off the counter. It looks nice. And somebody comes behind you and leaves somebody there. It's just going to be for a minute. But then somebody else puts something there, somebody else puts something there, and it's there until it attracts even more clutter. You find yourself at times moving one thing from one space to another space. You just find yourself moving the clutter around, not really finding a home for it. We also want to recognize that we go through different stages in our whole idea of comfort levels with decluttering, which is influenced by various seasons in our life. So let's talk about some of those. The first season that might come to mind is when you have your very first home that you are in charge of. Remember when you acquired that first home? Maybe it was after college or during college. Maybe once you got your career started or you got married or something of that sort, when you had your first home. Remember how messy it got pretty quickly because you were moving things into your home and you just didn't know where everything was going to go? Well, you might find that your first move into your RV or a tiny home, you'll experience some of the same issues. It's more than likely that your new tiny home will become very messy very quickly. When living tiny, everything must have a home, and it takes time to find the best place for an item's landing place. So note this. Its landing place will change, and possibly many times as you organize your home to its functional best. Recognizing the need to declutter is the first step. It's a learning curve, but it's essential for making your RV a comfortable living space. I highly suggest watching several videos on YouTube on the topic of decluttering and specifically decluttering and organizing your RV. Now, do take note that there is a difference between decluttering and organizing. You always want to declutter first, get rid of the stuff, and then whatever's left, that's what you're going to organize. When you're watching these videos, take note of what others are doing, but understand that your needs are specific to you. If you try to copy what others are doing, you will become frustrated with the process. Understand your why and set really clear goals. Knowing what you want to achieve can provide motivation and direction. Whether it's creating a more organized space or simplifying your life, having a clear purpose will help you focus and be more committed. In another season of life, there may come a time when downsizing makes sense. You might be triggered by an empty nest, the decision to travel full-time in an RV, or even the desire to live a more minimalistic lifestyle in a stationary RV or tiny house. This stage requires serious decluttering. The danger and biggest pitfall when downsizing is that many people fall into a trap of moving items that are more sentimental rather than of value into storage facilities. The amount of stuff you store will greatly depend on your season in life and any plans you may have on your radar for the future. So begin by sorting things in categories. Now, this is where decluttering comes in again. So you're going to have categories on what you're going to keep, what you're going to donate, what you're going to sell, and what you're going to throw away. Once you have made a decision or have purchased your new tiny space, then take precise measurements to understand what you can easily bring with you. There may be some things that you want to bring with you. Depending on what you're moving into, you may or may not be able to bring much furniture. What about some of those sentimental things? You'll have to make those decisions. But if you know the precise measurements, then you can sort your things accordingly that you want to bring into that tiny space, and you can see what you can bring with you. As you are downsizing, one of the things that you want to do is to get rid of as much paper as possible. So digitize everything you can, and you can keep backup files, or better yet, send them to the cloud somewhere so that you don't have to store even your digital filing. A great idea is to create capsule wardrobes that match your new minimalistic lifestyle, and then you can donate the excess. To be really successful at tiny living, you do need to focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. It's all about embracing the freedom of less. Our goal is to get to a point where we're at the maintenance stage, and eventually we will reach a point where we are satisfied with how our space is functioning. Decluttering has become a habit, a part of maintaining that serenity and functionality that we want for our RV. So what are some practical solutions that really allow that to happen? Well, to maintain a decluttered space effectively, we create a daily routine for decluttering by setting aside a few minutes each day to prevent the clutter from becoming overwhelming. Just start small. Instead of tackling your entire home at once, focus on one small area, such as a drawer or a specific cabinet or shelf or an area that everything gets dropped into. This makes the task feel more manageable and allows you to see some progress quickly, and that's very motivating, and you'll tend to continue if you're more motivated. Focus on some easy wins. So start by getting rid of obvious trash or items that you know you'll no longer use. A really good idea is to use a timer. Set a timer for only 10 minutes and do what I call an RV tidy sprint. So this creates a sense of urgency, and it helps you to concentrate on the task without feeling overwhelmed by the bigger project. So when the time is up, you can decide whether you want to continue that or do another 10-minute tidy sprint or just take a break altogether. Another tip is to make what you're doing enjoyable. And I like to be a bit productive too. So one of the things that I do during decluttering is to play a podcast. Some people like to play their favorite music, or some people even like to have a little snack beside them and just kind of eat their snack while they're tidying. This is one way that it lightens the mood a bit, and it makes the process feel a bit less like a chore. Keep a decluttering notebook or a list of items that you need to declutter. As you are cleaning through the week, as you are putting things away, and you notice something that you're going to need to spend a little more time, make a note of it so that you can come back and take care of it. This is all about purging regularly and intentionally. So as you go through your belongings and you make a note of what needs to be removed or things that you haven't used, it keeps your space fresh and functional. Remember to stay to the end for a bonus minute that will support your seasonal decluttering challenges. When it comes to shopping for our RV, we want to use mindful purchasing practices. Embrace that one in, one out rule. So before you bring in a new item to your home, ask yourself if you truly need that item. Where will you store it? And what will you have to release? I kind of like that visual. What will you need to release to accommodate this new item? This practice helps avoid unnecessary clutter. It encourages mindful purchasing. It ensures that you only keep what you truly need and love. And it's also great for the budget. Periodically, we're going to evaluate our possessions and ask ourselves if they still serve a purpose or bring us joy. And if not, consider donating or discarding them. This ongoing assessment helps maintain a clutter-free space, and it ensures that you are surrounded only by items you value. Identify a specific area in your home for temporary clutter such as a basket or a bin. And this allows you to contain items that need to be dealt with later, and that prevents them from spreading throughout your space. I have a basket that is close to where I sit, and whenever I come across or happen to have an item that doesn't have a home in my living area or in the space that I'm at, I will put in that basket. And then my goal every evening when I do my evening routine is to pick up that basket and put all the little items that are in their homes where they are supposed to stay. You can utilize storage solutions, but research them before investing in them because you want to use storage effectively. The reason I'm so passionate about this is because I did all the wrong things. I love organizing containers, and I did a horrible job of finding the right storage container. What I learned was you want storage solutions that suit your space and your intrinsic needs. So bins and baskets and drawer organizers to keep things sorted and easily accessible are good. When you have those organizational spaces, it helps you find a home for things. But purchasing storage containers before you declutter can lead you to overbuying or using the wrong solutions for your need. And I found I need to have clear acrylic organizers that I can label and see what is inside them and know that things can be easily found. So focus on decluttering first to understand your storage requirements, then choose the appropriate solution based on what you decide to keep. Next, label the containers, which not only helps you, but everyone in the household know where things are and where they belong so they can put them back, and that reduces the likelihood of clutter reaccumulating. This is a great video. It is some professional organizers who helped out a full-time RV couple. Probably one of the biggest challenges for someone like me who loves to have everything organized is getting family members to participate. Now, because it's just Bob and Izzy and I, that means I have to get Bob on board. And Bob has a completely different comfort level to clutter than I do. It's much more important to me. I'll just put it that way. So I need to remember that my needs must be balanced by his need. To get your family members connected with your need for organization and for decluttering, you have to emphasize how it affects your personal well-being. A good example of this is shown in this video here. It's a little bit older of a video, but I really think it speaks well to this fostering of understanding. We also know that even in small spaces, every family member has to have their own space, and we need to respect that individual space. They have an attachment to their belongings, and so their belongings need a space they're comfortable with. When you see an effort, be sure that you acknowledge that and let people know how much you appreciate their participation in the decluttering process because it means a lot to you. Decluttering your RV is not just about creating more space. It's about creating a lifestyle that allows you to live, love, and create joy in your tiny home without the burden of excess. By setting clear goals, establishing routines, implementing practical strategies, and by fostering a collective effort, you can effectively maintain a decluttered space. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection, and every small step counts towards creating a more organized and peaceful living space. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with your fellow RV enthusiasts. So as promised, here is your bonus list for decluttering seasonally. In the fall, declutter before the holidays. Sort through your decorations, get rid of broken things, clean up the home before the holiday season start, and then you'll have a better starting space to decorate. It's a good time to organize paperwork. Shred documents that need to be shredded, file away important papers that need to be filed away, digitize what you can, and then you'll have a more organized workspace in your home RV. This is a perfect time before the winter sets in to evaluate your outdoor tools and furniture, discard broken items, and organize what you plan to use in the coming months and what you need to put away for the winter. Winter maintenance includes 3 things to think about for winter maintenance. Winter decorations, your holiday, Christmas decorations, things like that. Ensure they're organized and make sure that you properly store anything that you use decoration-wise from the fall. If you don't love it, throw it away to avoid adding to clutter. Remember, if you bought new stuff for these holidays, something needs to go that you're no longer using. Regularly check for expired items. So in your pantry, your bathroom, look for expiration dates. Get rid of the stuff that is no longer good. Plan for indoor activities. Since we're spending more time indoors, You want to create a space, hobbies, or activities in such a way that it prevents clutter from accumulating and adding to that claustrophobic environment that can sometimes happen. In the spring, you want to assess your winter clothes, sort out what you didn't wear that winter, get rid of it, make sure the decorations are properly stored. This is a great time to take that donation box to your local area. Get ready for spring by organizing your outdoor spaces, clean and declutter those areas. Look at your patio, your gardens, winter tools and furniture. Think about the things that you either need to replace or that you want to use in the summer so that you don't forget about it later. You may also want to refresh your wardrobe a little bit. So as you're transitioning your closet by packing away those heavy winter clothes, bringing out your lighter spring attire, again, donate items you haven't wore. And if you buy something new for the spring, make sure there's a place for it by releasing something old. In the summer, it's a great time to optimize kitchen storage. Purge expired food, organize your pantry, use clear containers to store food. That allows you to easily see and label what you have on hand and reducing clutter. Create your summer capsule wardrobe. Donate anything you haven't worn for a long time. And summer is a time when we go in and out our screen doors often throughout the day that our entryways get very cluttered. So you want to keep those organized with maybe some hooks or bags, a shoe rack, whatever is most needed in your high traffic area. If you liked today's video, would you do us the honor of liking and subscribing? And don't forget to ring that bell.